Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Convos with Kinu. I am your host. If you haven't already, please pause the video and go subscribe to my YouTube channel right now, Convos with Kinu, so you could be updated on the latest content. So today we have a very special guest. This man was a professional Assyrian American boxer that fought in the IBF, which stands for International Boxing Federation, which is one of the 4 major organizations in the world. He fought in the Super Middleweight Division between 1994 to 2005. His record was 24-4. 13 of his wins were knockouts, fighting a total of 28 fights. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest, the man that represented the Assyrian community in the 90s and put our name on the map, Anwar Oshana. Anwar, thank you for taking your time out of your day to join me on my podcast, brother. How's everything going, dude?
Good. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Of course. So, Juan, where were you born? Were you born in America or back home?
I was born in Thomas, Syria. It's near Hasake. The city is Hasake, and the town is Thomas. It's a village.
Do you remember Syria back?
Yes, I do.
What do you remember exactly? What was your highlights in Syria?
We had
what was fun to you at the time as kids?
There was a river. We lived by the river, close to the river. You know, we used to go down the river, swim in the river, go to school, I would go out sometimes, catch horses and ride horses. Yeah, I swear to God.
It was a free country.
Yeah. I mean, we used to catch horses, go ride horses. I mean,
nice. So, how old were you when you moved to America, when your parents migrated here?
I was 12 years old. That's 1984.
1984 you came here?
Yeah.
Wow. How was it like adapting to the American culture?
You had to learn English. You know, it was kind of very difficult for first few years. You know.
Yeah. So
it was kind of hard in the beginning. So I picked it up. I started slow. You know, I started hanging with my cousins. You know, they spoke fluent English. So
that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Did you have family here already?
Yeah, I already had my uncles here, my older and my youngest uncle.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I had my aunts, my grandmother.
So did you start hanging out with Assyrians first, or was it Americans? Because you went to school, to a public Chicago school, I bet.
I started hanging with the Assyrians because back then, you know, when you seen another Assyrian in a foreign country, you know, you freak out. Oh, look, they're Assyrians. That's why I used to tell my dad, hey, Bobby, and that's right. Like, yeah, these are Assyrians.
Yeah.
You know, it was something we were amazed, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So, but now it's like,
Kulla, everyone's for himself,
yeah, no, I mean, they don't get surprised, you know. Oh, you know what I mean?
Assyrians like me and you do.
Not as much as it used to be when they first immigrated, you know, back in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, it was more. Yeah. I know what you're. You know what?
There weren't that many of us here. You know, now we multiplied.
Got it. So, at what age did you discover boxing, and when did you pursue it? Again, how old were you when you discovered boxing and when you started pursuing it?
I was 16 years old.
And you came here at 12?
At 12.
Okay.
Within those 4 years, I was hanging with my cousin, Melky Oshana, a.k.a. Shorty. We wanted to help the Assyrian community.
with fighting, getting into
No, like
just getting into like helping out the
helping out, you know, like hanging out, helping out, like
gathering
together, you know, like not divide, you know what I mean? Like,
got it.
like socialize, you know what I mean? Get to know each other, you know, trade with each other, you know?
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, so
that's beautiful.
That's what we wanted to do, me and Shorty. So, okay, what was the question?
So who supported and encouraged you to get into boxing? Who was it? Your parents? Was it your cousins?
No, it was more. Well, we came up with a plan.
You and your cousin.
Me and my cousin, yeah.
And how did your parents feel about you going into boxing? Because you know how our Syrian moms are.
I used to sneak out to go to the gym.
No way.
I swear to God, I used to sneak out, walk from Sacramento, then the van, walk to California, and grab the bus to California to Foster, and get off over there and walk to River Park. I trained at River Park for my first 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I won Golden Gloves a couple of times at River Park. Then I went to Hamlet Park from there. I won the gloves 3 times.
That's what I wanted to ask you. When did you start getting recognized? Like, not with the Assyrian community. Like, when you went into boxing, Americans, when did they start? Who was that guy, like, who was like, hey, you should box. I want you to, get into boxing. I'm sure it was did you have like a manager who got you into boxing? Was he the one that supported you to get into boxing and then was like, he paved the way for you to get you more fights?
No, I really, well, it was me. Idea came between me and my cousin.
When you're okay.
Yeah, okay. So it stuck in my mind. And I started boxing to get recognized. You know what I mean? Like, I was trying to sneak in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was another way of staying off the streets as well and getting discipline.
Right. So I was trying to get recognition, get my name out there.
You started getting recognized with Americans, and who supported you and brought you in the Assyrian community?
Oh, that was Raymond Oshana. Raymond Oshana.
He brought you.
He introduced me to the community by taking me to the radio station, Assyrian radio station. My 4th professional fight, I fought on national television, USA Tuesday Night Fight. Now, that rarely ever happens. 4th professional fight. And, first time Assyrian being televised on international television.
I remember because we were kids, it was in the 90s. I was about 7, 8 years old, and every Assyrian, my Assyrian family, I swear to you, we would gather in front of the television, big screen of television, and we would watch Anwar Oshana on TV, ESPN fighting, and we would be so happy, man, that you were like the first Assyrian fighter that put us on the map. And I don't think some people like recognize, like the kids growing up, in this day of age. I want them to know who Anwar Oshana was, because you came up in the struggle, bro. I mean, you came from Syria. You came here when you were 12 years old, okay? Yeah. And you had to adapt to the American social society.
Right.
And then you had to, stay away from the streets, the gangs, the drugs. And you did an amazing job by having boxing as your discipline, man. I really applaud you. And Man, I'm telling you, we had goosebumps when you would get in that ring and fight. But I wanted to ask you, what was the feeling like before you got into that ring?
Every fight, no matter how big or how small, every fight I was nervous. That's the natural thing. You're nervous, but you try not to let it. I just stay relaxed. Okay, I'm nervous. I'm still relaxed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm still relaxed. My body's comfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
How was training like, man? Was training hard? Like, I know you had
training was intense.
So every fight was nervous. What was the biggest fight that you had that you're just like, man, this is really nervous? Like, I've had fights that were nervous.
Oh, that was in Philadelphia, my first loss. In Philadelphia, I fought Thomas Tate.
Okay.
When I was 20-0, he gave me my first loss. I've never been so nervous in my life except that fight.
Or was the highlight of your career winning the belt, the title?
When I fought in Westmont, Illinois, I fought for a 12-round IBF regional title. And I went the distance. I mean, it was an intense fight. I fought 12 rounds, like I was going at it. Me and him were going at it. I mean, 12 round intense. We both wound up in the hospital after the fight.
That was in 97. And then the following title, what year was that? Was that 97 too?
Might have been 98.
98.
Even when I fought Thomas Tate was in April 98, I think. April 98 or April. It was April 98. Then I fought Omar Sheik. Omar Sheik he was born in New Jersey. He's Palestinian. I fought him at Carmichael's downtown Chicago. It was live on ESPN.
So speaking of Omar Sheik, since you mentioned him right now, how old were you in that fight? What year was it?
I say about, it was 99. I say about I was 27.
27.
Yeah.
So you're in your prime roughly, and you were going in on him, man. You're going hard. You weren't giving up. You gave him all you got. Yeah. It was literally eye of a tiger. Like, you showed that Assyrian pride in you. Like, you're not going down. But unfortunately, you did lose that fight. What would you do if you went back to that fight? Would you say you would have attacked more? You would have had more of a, worked on your defense? What would you...
Worked on my defense. I had terrible defense, I used to get hit out all the time, but I used to, I was an aggressive fighter. I used to get in, dig the body, come up to the head.
And I've seen you, you're a very aggressive fighter. You're known as a hard hitter too at that Super Middleweight Division. Yeah. You're very hard.
In the Golden Gloves, 5 years in a row, I was in the championship 5 years in a row.
In the Golden Gloves?
In the Golden Gloves. Every year I registered, I was in the championship. Every year.
No way.
I dominated for 5 years.
No way.
I swear to God.
Do you remember those?
Now, do you guys don't know this?
See, that's why I want to do this episode, because some people don't know this, man. This is like... This is a success story, man.
Well, there's... maybe there's others that know. Others that know in this world that know that.
But the young generation don't know. And that's why.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why we're trying to get this message across for the young generation, because they're going to look at your story, like coming from Syria, adapting to the Chicago life. And Chicago at that time was all gang violence.
Right.
And you came up off that, man. You disciplined yourself. And you got into boxing.
No, I said, no, I'm not going to go like that. I'm going to go, athlete way, you know what I mean? Like athletic. I'm going to be athletic, you know what I mean?
So, Anwar, going back to the Omar Sheik fight, there's an incident that happened on video, and like I said, you guys could find this on YouTube. After you lost, some Assyrians that were in the crowd got into the ring, and what it looked like from my view is that they're trying to fight with the fighter you fought, Omar
No,
Sheik.
that wasn't the case. No.
So what happened? Because
What happened is because after the referee stopped the fight, my brother and my cousin wanted to get in the ring, and the security would not allow them to get in the ring. So that's what the altercation happened between the security and my cousin. I think was my brother.
So you also mentioned you were 5 years in a row, you won the Golden Gloves. You were dominating.
I was in the championship 5 years. Every year I was in the championship.
So out of the 5 times that you were dominating in the Golden Gloves, you won 3 times.
I won the championship was 3 times, but I won the championship 3 times, but I made it to the championship 5 times. Yeah, so
you said that you basically had to hide going to the gym from your parents, right? Because mothers
I had to sneak out.
Sneak out, yeah, sneak out.
I used to get I knew what time my mother got home from work, so I used to wait for my mother. My mother had a monthly bus pass, so I used to use it when she got home from work. I used to get the bus pass, walk from my house to the bus stop, take the bus to the gym, then come back with the bus, and put my mother's monthly pass back in her purse.
And was there any times where you had to walk miles to fight or to the gym to train and all that? Like if you didn't have the bus pass?
Yeah, I would walk many times. I mean, my mother worked overtimes a lot of times, so I no bus pass, so I got to walk. I walked, but the most I ever walked was when my parents lived in Hoffman State. I walked 9.5 hours from Hoffman State to Devon, Sacramento. Yeah, I went.
Wait. Sorry, let me just get this straight. Hold up. Did I just hear that you walked from Hoffman State
to Devon, Sacramento?
Oh my God!
Like the Hoffman State, yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah, but
that's dedication.
That wasn't the plan, though. The plan after what happened at home, something happened at home.
Yeah.
Then I had to walk. I had to walk. I was trying to grab a train. But there was no schedule for the train. It was back then. It was a long time ago. So
said the late great Omar Oshana, who brought you into the Assyrian community. God rest his soul. He brought you also to the Assyrian events, right? Because I seen some
events. I mean, yes, events.
Radio,
weddings, parties. Well, we were like very close friends for a while.
Yeah.
A day before, God may rest in peace. A day before he passed away, he was telling me about his shoulder. His shoulder. Yeah, he was telling me about his shoulder, and that happened the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was by your side, man. He was by your side from the beginning. He supported you.
But back then, there was negative lifestyle also.
What do you mean by that?
Then. Well, there was negative, bad lifestyle like alcohol, drugs,
gang violence and all that.
No. I mean, like what people have to fake. You know what I'm saying? There was a gambling addiction. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There was gambling, drugs, alcohol. Those are three major, no-nos. You know what I'm saying? So,
Do you feel like, sorry to cut you off, do you feel like when you got into boxing, like the professional aspect of boxing, did you feel like there was a time where you kind of fell off because you, let's say, got into drinking or partying too much? Because every star has had his faults, like Ronaldinho, the soccer player, Neymar, a lot of Maradona, Diego Maradona. They got into whatever they got into, and there was a time where they didn't excel really. But what I noticed, you told me you partied, but you always stay focused, even though that. But was there a time where you're like, oh, I kind of messed up, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna party?
I stayed focused, but I was, how once I did everything on my own, I was successful. Once I got comfortable, once you have, like once your name gets out there, then you become comfortable. Once you stop, once you get comfortable, that's when the
Get you
negativity gets you, And
you mentioned, so there's other Assyrian fighters that were under your wings. You mentioned Sammy Mirza.
Albert Rashel, Sammy Mirza, Albert Rashel, and there was Jay. There's four brothers. Was James, Tommy, Elvis, and Douglas, the Fionan brothers. They were the first at River Park. When I first started at River Park, they are already there. They were already boxing, like few years before me.
I know you probably don't remember because there's probably so many. Do you know how many, like, could you just guess how many amateur fights you had before you got into professional?
I had like 60, 70 something.
Wow.
Yeah. 75, maybe 70.
You had around 70 amateur fights before you went into the professional.
Before I turned pro in 94. 94, I won the Golden Gloves. Then in April, I turned pro.
What was that feeling like, turning pro and actually being what was that feeling you had in you? Did you tell your parents right away? Did you tell your family, like, hey, I'm pro, I'm about to be on TV?
Oh, no, they didn't know. I just kept doing it. No, they didn't know. The only Sammy Mirza, he's the only one that knew. Yeah. I was still fighting pro. Oh, no, back.
Sorry.
Maybe Raymond, I'm sorry. Raymond was involved also.
Raymond Oshana.
Raymond and Sammy Mirza.
So they were with you the whole time?
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to pick Alberto up from his house and take him to the gym with me. Whatever gym I used to train at. Me and Alberto always went to the same gym. Because after I was 4 years at River Park, I moved from River Park, went to Hamlin Park on Belmont and Damon. And that's when Alberto wanted to go with me. So I picked him up every day, took him to the gym with me. Even when I went to Windy City to a professional, I had to pick him up, take him with me. So they grew under my wing, Him and Sammy. I introduced them into boxing. So,
Wow.
man,
You were the teacher basically
yeah.
and brought him in. Got it. So if there's kids that if they want to get into boxing, okay, and you know, the streets of Chicago, they want to excel into boxing, they want to hopefully one day become professional fighters like yourself. Especially the struggles that you went through, everybody could look at your story and be like, if he could do it, we could do it. What do you say to these kids that are grown up? Would you recommend them to go into boxing, and why?
Boxing prepares you not only physically, mentally, but I mean, even through life is ups and downs, okay? So boxing helps you balance that ups and downs. You know what I mean? Boxing helps you cope with life also. The comfort you get after workout, you know what I mean?
It's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling. It's like getting high after workout, you know what I mean? After you accomplish something that's difficult, there's a big relief after, you know what I mean? That's a great feeling. That's like almost you being intimate, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I'm going to ask you this, but you got to pick one. What's your favorite Assyrian food?
What's my favorite?
What's your favorite Assyrian food? I know damn well you love one Assyrian. Dekhwa? Out of everything, dekhwa?
Dekhwa, prache, they call it dolma, prache, you know, prache, dolma.
Yeah. Now, I forgot to ask you, though, but you have siblings and do you got kids?
Yes, I do. I have a 26-year-old. His name's Anwar. And the younger one is a 20-year-old. His name is Armand. He's a football player in McKendree University. He's got a full scholarship for McKendree University for football.
Oh, wow.
And my older one he's got a couple more years to become a pharmacist.
Wow.
Yeah. He's gonna be a pharmacist. He's got 2 years left.
And where did they grow up in Chicago?
They Humble Park,
you
know.
You guys they grew up in Humble Park.
Yeah.
How did you raise such good kids, man? Were you always on them? Were you making sure?
I always wanted to be there with them, you know. I said, that's I wanted to accomplish, these are my blood, you know what I mean? I'm gonna raise them. Every son needs a good father, you know what I mean? You gotta spend time with them to make him become a man, you know, like a man, tough, endurance, you know what I mean? Like,
a father needs to be part of the child's life in order for that child to progress in life. You're right. No, I agree.
Be aggressive, you know, like, teach your son, be aggressive, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, as you take advantage, you know what I mean?
No, God bless.
That's what I'm trying to, you know.
Yeah, I get it. No, God bless you, man. You raise great kids. I mean, I think I've seen Anwar.
Toughness, no weakness, you know what I mean? No weakness. I mean, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, you know.
Really?
Yes, I've been shot on my leg and I've been stabbed in my stomach. Yeah, I've been hit with bottles in my head.
No way.
Yeah, man. Those things happen to me, you know. You know, I've been like
street fights.
With a steak knife, I was stabbing my stomach.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had a big scar right here. I mean, those things happen. That was when I was in a negative lifestyle. You know, that's.
No, that was in part of those street fights. Right? How many street fights have you got into?
Oh,
I know there's a lot, man.
yeah.
A lot of street fights. You can't even count, right?
No.
Did people call you all the time, like Assyrians, friends, cousins? Every time they got into it with somebody, they fought with somebody. Would they call you?
No, I mean, we used to go like to clubs. You know, we used to be like in a group. You know,
You guys would be deep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, I see a group, I'll go by them, you know, hang with that, you know, like you guys do.
No, but I'm asking.
You guys, I think you guys do.
Yeah, of course. We stay. What?
We see Chazar, let's go by them, like be in a group, you know what I mean?
You know, it's crazy because we're the same way. Like you guys grew up at that time where Assyrian stayed with Assyrians.
Yeah.
Like we're more comfortable with our own people. You're right.
Yeah.
And I think we're like that too. We grew up like that too. I wouldn't, we wouldn't be with Nakhraya, but what I'm asking also is like, what did your relatives, like your cousins or friends that you had at the time in your boxing career, if they got into a fight with somebody, would they ever call you for backup? Like, hey, Anwar, what you got? We need help. Or did you get into that?
Well, I just went with them just to be, next to them. That's it, But I just be with them, I just hang with them. I didn't go to start trouble. I just wanted to be like, work together. You know what I mean?
You're basically quiet, and if trouble came your way, you would have to fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. I noticed I have you as a Facebook friend.
Yeah.
What's up with all these hearts, man? You send hearts everywhere. What's up with them? What?
It's because my political views triggered something.
But
boom.
But you send love to people all the time. Why do you send love to people?
Send love to people because I know what I've done. And they know what I've done. When I said what I said, it shocked the world what I did.
Speaking of politics, even though
Trump 2024.
You already know what I was gonna ask.
That's a bad motherfucker.
You can say
it. Trump is a gangster, man.
Why are you voting for Trump?
Trump is a thug, he crushed the system, baby. The system abused us.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Abusing our rights, you're saying. Okay.
Abuse. The systems, this terrorist bullshit. Who the fuck came out with that word terrorist? Label. That's the label. Terrorist. What the fuck? They want the justice. They want enforcement. You understand? So the attorneys to judges, criminal attorneys, criminal judges. I'm sending them love, man. Love. There's no, fuck the justice system. You know what I mean?
So you're voting for Trump because he's a tough guy and macho mentality.
Yeah. Hey.
He just doesn't. He's not politically correct. You're saying he says what's on his mind. He speaks the truth, and that aligns with your beliefs, right?
Trump cut the red tape. That's what Trump did. He cut the red tape.
And what does that mean exactly?
The justice systems are police power.
Let me ask you. Sorry to cut you off. Did the law enforcement in the 90s abuse their power and target the Assyrian community? Did they always hit?
They target the foreigners, like especially Middle Eastern.
So they targeted Middle Easterns.
They target. We couldn't go to Skokie. We couldn't go to Lincolnwood. We couldn't go to those places because the police would stop us.
Really?
Yes, they said, "Don't come over here. Don't come to this town." Yes, and if they sue you, you're a foreigner, they give you, pull you over, give you a ticket in a heartbeat.
So they would pull you over for...
So I give you citation in a heartbeat. If you see you're an outsider, you citation in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Yes, that's how they abuse the system, justice system.
That's what you mean. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm loving every mafia. Fuck the police.
Do you think it's changed now? Like, do you think law enforcement has changed now? Like, it's not like
better
before.
now because what? Black Lives Matter. That's what crushed the government, the justice system.
Do you support?
I support Black Lives Matter.
Got it. Got it.
Yes.
So you're a Trump supporter and you support Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So I wanted to ask you one last thing. What is your message to the kids that are growing up in the city of Chicago, where they live in a rough household, you know, the struggles that they endure, knowing where you came from, again, from Syria, you know, not learning, very difficult to adapt to the American society. What is your message to the kids that are growing up in a very hard household? Would you recommend them, you know, since they have a lot of anger and animosity, to get into boxing?
My favorite was boxing.
Okay.
See, that was relieved a lot of stress on me. I mean, you know, going to work, going to school, going to the gym. So that was a relief. The going to the gym part, that was a relief from the stress I had, so, you know, at work and school. Going to the gym was the relief I had. To relieve the stress I had from working and going to school. That's what that's how it helped me throughout my life, you know what I mean? Like being a boxer. So
you do encourage kids to go to, you know, boxing and get it out, get relief.
Most definitely, yeah. Yes. I mean, that's how I lived my life, you know. So
got it. Anwar, is there any last things that you would want to say to the Assyrian community here growing up in the Western world? Is there any last words that you want to say to the kids and in general before we end this episode?
Love one another, you know, like brothers, you know. There's not many of us. So love one another, you know, like brothers, you know, support each other, you know.
Never division. No division. Always
no division, you know, love each other, man. Life is short, you know. Life is short. Enjoy your lives, you know what I mean? I hate that. That's all bullshit. I'm telling you, that was a justice system. Justice system, there was division. Love, we
have to love each other.
Yeah, that's why I even loving everything. I see kitchen, I love it. I see whatever it is, toilet, table.
So your words to the Assyrian community here is to unite, love each other.
Yeah,
there's not many of us, so we should always stick strong to each other.
Especially, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I started going out and hanging out, and you know. Well, go ahead.
No, we're good to go. Anyway, Anwar, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me on Convos with Kinu. Did you want to say something?
No, I want to thank you for having me. Thank you.
Of course, man. I really appreciate it.
I hope there be more times, you know.
We will, definitely. We will. We'll do this again, man. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.